This is James Holder for IFL TV in association with Matt Clean's Gym Bar. With me I've got the real Gone Kid, Paul Smith, after his third round KO against Bratislav Cuba. How you feeling, champ?
Sammy, it's good to be back. You can do all the sparring in the world, which I do a lot of in the gym. But nothing beats getting in there with the little gloves on and getting that winning feeling back. You know, regardless of anything. I've always said, you know, I lost my last 3 fights. It doesn't matter who they were against or what they were for or where they was.
Does that play on your mind as a fighter? The fact, I know you've been in with very good opposition, high caliber opposition, but did you just sort of think about things like that?
Yeah and no. You know, I don't know. Pretty strong-minded. Nothing like that really phases me. You know, I know what happened in them fights and I know what they were. You know, the first one against Abraham, I believe I won. The second one, I lost the fight fair and square. It was a good hard fight against a good champion. The Andre Ward fight, you know, I was in there with one of the best people I've ever seen boxing, and I just want to literally wipe that from my memory. It was just it was what it was, and you know, fucked up with the weigh-in, and then the fight was actually a pleasure to be in there with them, but as painful as it was, you know, I'm not going to be sit there in 20 years' time telling my kids about beating Bratislav Cuban in the MEN arena.
I respect that.
I want to sit there and tell them about topping the bill in the States with Michael Buffer calling my name on US TV against Andre Ward, who, if he goes on to beat Kovalev, will get the recognition that he deserves. He's a class fighter, a class man, and another level to most out there. So they're the type of things you remember. You know, I said it before, I was looking at Quigg out there. Last time Quigg was in here, he was topping the bill against Carl Frampton. He took a chance, he went for it, lost the fight, but he'll come again and win titles. But he's not going to sit there and tell people about when he beat Jamie Arthur, with all due respect, or Jason Bood for the British titles. He's going to say about when he topped the bill in here against Frampton in a mega fight. And they're the type of fight you remember. So although I was on the wrong end of the decisions on them, you know, it's good to be back and winning again and creating a few more memories and starting the road again.
Eddie Hearn jokingly said the other day he thinks you look 10 years younger. Now I think you can really see you've got your mojo back. You can see you're sort of proper trim. You seem to be bouncing and have a buzz about you again.
Yeah, it's me brothers, and you know, I'm the eldest, but I've got a sort of, not a new lease of life. I never really lost it. I contemplated packing in after the Ward fight. I just contemplated packing it, boxing in general. It was getting a bit much, but I'd had 3 hard fights on the bounce, 3 hard camps on the bounce, and I literally had an operation on my elbow, and I got the call, do you want to fight Andre Ward? I still had my arm in a sling. I said, well, what do you think? Of course I will. And I got straight back in the gym when I shouldn't have really been training. No excuses whatsoever, but it's like, you get a bit fed up of the daily training, the daily working, and no time from seeing the kids. And then after the Ward fight, I had a bit of a rest. You know, a bit of a rest is an understatement, really. I had a good rest. My wife had our little girl, Gracie, and then I just in the August, and then from August, September, October, I just enjoyed time at home with her, with the baby and my wife and kids. And then November time, I hit the gym again, went back in, checked my weight, checked the damage, knew what I had to lose, and since then I've chipped away, and got it right down. And I've did in 6 months what you normally try and do in 6 or 8 weeks, which most boxers try and do. And it's the wrong way of doing it. So I've now got it down. It's staying down. I'm now in the gym all the time, sparring, and I'm staying in the gym. You know, I'm gonna go fishing on Monday, and I'm back in the gym Tuesday. You know, and I go from there and speak to Joe now, who's, you know, gonna have a chat with Eddie and get me on the Goodison show.
Goodison show looks absolutely massive. We've seen the lads already how excited it's been. It'll be fantastic that time.
Listen, but what an opportunity for me mate Bellew, and what a feeling he's gonna get walking out topping the bill at Goodison with Z cars. Come on, you know, I'm a Red, I'm a Liverpoolian, and it makes my hair stand up on end, you know, the thought of him doing that. I'm so pleased for him, to the chance that he's got, and I believe he'll take the chance. But the lads on the undercard, it's a great opportunity for the lads on the undercard to fight in a football stadium, and especially the Scouts lads and the local lads, you know, to get out there and shine under the lights of Goodison Park. You know, I'm a Red, I'm always going to give a bit of stick, but would I fight at Goodison? I'd absolutely love to. You know what I mean? It's an old establishment, isn't it, of the city, Goodison Park, and it'd be great to fight there.
Do you think you're responsible for your brothers going into boxing? Because you were the oldest and probably the first one in the gym. Do you think they sort of followed suit because that was the road that you went down?
Possibly, but then my old fella, Mike Tyson, Rocky Balboa are probably the reason for me going into boxing. So I can't take the credit for it. Stephen just followed as younger brothers do. He's got 2 lads himself, and the younger one will do whatever the elder one's done. Callum followed suit next, and then Liam finally bit the bullet and said, "Well, then I'll box," and he went round and started himself. But I don't really take credit for it. You know, I think we were always gonna be close in whatever we do. You know, we're with each other every day. We're in each other's pockets, left, right, and centre. You know, it's literally, you can't move for having one of them around you, and wouldn't really have it any other way, to be honest with you. We're close and we like it like that. But I think if I'd have gone into football, they may have done that, but I was terrible at football, so there was no chance of it.
Rumours Beef is pretty good with the ball.
Yeah, he is. He's a good player. He still is, but
tenacious.
He's a fucking dickhead. You know what I mean? He's got a world title fight in like 3 weeks, and he'll be going playing 90 minutes Sunday League with all hairy ass fellas sliding tackles and, you know, piss from the night before, doing 2 photos on him because he's a boxer, and he's mad, but keeps him fit, and as far as he's concerned, he's running around for 90 minutes.
That's right.
of a Sunday where he'd normally be lying in bed. So good, you know, good luck to him. But I'm sick to knock it in the head a few weeks before fights at least. But yeah, he's a decent player, to be honest with you. Me, Stephen and Callum, not really.
I watch some of your Twitter, and I see sometimes some of the abuse that you get, and I sometimes think, how unwarranted is that abuse? Now, am I not seeing something? Is there a Paul Smith that I don't see away from? Because I think I know you pretty well, Paul, from the 5 or 6 years I've got to know you, and I think you're a proud, likeable fella. So what's going on? I don't quite understand.
You know what it is? They look at you. I've never used the word I'm a celeb. I've never used the word I'm famous. I fucking hate it. I can't stand it. I'm good at my job, and I'm on the telly for Sky working. And if I'm showing on the telly for being in the ring, then sound. But they look at you as like a celeb or someone famous, and because you tell them to go and fuck themselves and call them a cunt. You can't do that. You can't talk to me like that. I just block everyone on Twitter. If I see any I don't know, abuse, little slight digs, I've always just looked at it. You know, where I'm from, I couldn't walk around my old estate and say something to someone what they say on there to the face and not expect a slap.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I sort of live my life like that. I just look at them and see the state of them, and they're giving me abuse. I had it before. I went on Twitter before after the fight. Someone's put, you know, you're still a fat cunt or something. And I looked and I looked at the state of him. You're like fucking Wurzel Gummidge. He's about 19 stone himself, and I just like 30 followers, and I just think, you know what, I could bite. I could just say, look at you, mate. This. Yeah. But I just think if you were here sitting on the couch with me now, would you say it? You know, no. Would you shite? And it's not to do with me being hard or anything else. You just wouldn't say it full stop. So why should I even rise to it? I just block them all, and it's mainly because of that. Mainly because they think I'm a bit touchy or because I'm a bit sensitive and all that. I'm not. You know, half the time they go on about banter. The banter's shite. You know what I mean? I wouldn't last 5 minutes in the company having a bevy. I'd get bored shit with some gold. It's just not my type of people, where some of the shit they try and pull off, you know. But Twitter, you know, I've had cancer wished on me. What the fuck have I done to anyone to do that? You know what I mean? But the lad that's done it's just a little absolute dog, an absolute rat. But he'll get his. You know, it'll come to him one day. He'll bump into someone who'll recognise him, and he'll get his teeth knocked out or something, and it'll happen to him. And I won't do nothing because I won't even be there, but it'll happen to him one day. I
do understand, and I empathise with you, mate. I really do.
They're all giving abuse out on Twitter, knowing, you know, the lads have got their addresses. It's not like it's like they just. I brush it off. I laugh it off. You know, I go home. I go to bed in my house with my wife, my kids, and I lock my door at night. And I'm happy with mine. I'm happy with me and mine and what I've got. And Peter Fiore hit the nail on the head. And I like Peter. I've got a lot of time for Peter. He's a gentleman. He's a really nice fella. He's fair. He's firm. Wouldn't like a fight with him. Takes no shit. But is very, very lenient and respectful to life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He put a line out once and someone gave him loads, and he said, look where you are in life, mate, look where I am. You know, and then try and give me a bit of abuse. And Peter hit the nail on the head. And it's like half the fellas giving me stick, you know what I mean? It's like, you're giving me stick over something that, can you even say you love boxing? You know, because if you love boxing, you follow the game. It's like it's a competition between them all to see who knows the most about boxing, or who can pick the better fighter out of them all, who's unknown or something, or just enjoy the game.
Ain't it about supporting all fighters though, Paul? It takes a special man to put the gloves on and get inside.
Just enjoy the game. The fella I boxed tonight, you know, after fellas giving me stick on Twitter, wouldn't have even lasted a round with it. And it's things like that. You look at the worst fighter on the bill tonight, at one of them journeymen who's just been on. You wouldn't even beat them, you know. But you know, okay, giving me a bit of stick over. I don't even know, you know, it's all down to that. If you're not going to say it to my face, I'm not interested in what you've got to say. You know, if you want to say it to my face, please do, by all means, please do. But when I'm out there in the arena, I've always said this, boxing shows, I go down my street, and I'm the lad who lives in number I live in. Or I'm Paul's dad from the school.
Yeah.
And they don't look and say, there's Paul Smith, the boxer, someone else, it's fine. I go down Liverpool Town Centre and you might get the odd little nudge, there's that Smigger, or there's one of the Smiths. Now it's, I probably think I might call him sometimes now. But that's it. Yeah. And I might get asked for 2 or 3 photos. I went to races and I got asked for a few, that's it. But you come to these boxing shows and you become like them footballers. And I don't envy the life they have, because everyone wants a picture. But my point I'm getting to is the people that ask me for pictures in there, I've took about 30 tonight already. Not one of them is saying, you're that cunt off Twitter, or I don't fucking like you. You know what I mean? And if there's people in here who have got that to say, I never hear a word of it when I'm out in the shows. You know, I never hear anyone shout, remember you said this on Twitter, or you're a cunt, I don't like you. But on Twitter they'll do it, they get on the phone, they'll type it, or they go on the keyboard, they'll type it. And then I get it on Twitter and I think you were just, you know, you were in the same place as me, why didn't you say it before?
Yeah. What's next for Paul Smith? You've challenged twice for a world title, twice on the road away as well, big fights. What do you want to do now?
I want the third, and I want the third, and the third time lucky in the last one. You know, I believe I can win a world title.
Do you think it's timing? Do you think it's timing of the fight?
Timing's everything in boxing. And listen, if I wasn't in the right place at the right time, timing-wise, I wouldn't have got the Abraham call. If I didn't get that, I wouldn't have got the Ward call. You know, that's boxing. People think I'm demanding world title fights and I'm going to go and bang Felix Sturm's door down, or, you know, what's his name, Takalis. I'm going to go and bang Sauerland's door down and demand a title fight. I'm Paul Smith, I demand this. It's not like that. I'm just phone up and ring me like they did last time. And I get a phone call, do you fancy fighting for the world title in 12 weeks time over in Germany for this much money against this much opponent? Fucking right to do. Yeah, let's go. That's how boxing works. Badou Jack. James De Gale beats Lucian Butte. Why did Badou Jack fight him next? Knowing that they're going to fight each other. Did Lucian Butte deserve the fight? Probably not. Did he take the fight? Or did he say, nah, I don't deserve that, I won't take it? Of course he took the fight. And it's Badou Jack trying to put a yardstick there and put a measurement there to see how well he beat Lucian Butte, because he's going to fight James De Gale next. That's how boxing works. That's one little example, but they're everywhere. You'll see them time and again. You know, Rocky Fielding fought against Christopher de Brass. You know, that was after he boxed Callum. But you'll see fighters fighting like for like opponents, knowing that they're going to box each other. Does the opponent deserve the shot? Maybe not, who knows? But the opponent's there when the phone goes. And when my phone rings, I'll be ready and waiting. I'm in the gym all the time now, I'm training all the time. And I've got to be ready, you know, no spring chicken now. So I've got to be ready when the phone rings to take the shot with both hands and try my best to win a title. And I've got to win the world title to hold me own in our house. Otherwise, I'll be paying for the dinner every time.
I didn't want to say that, you know what I mean? I didn't want to bring that up. Callum's obviously in the mandatory position to face Badou Jack as well.
Yeah. Stephen put up a great account of himself.
Great account.
That's it, you know, Stephen now, the WBA title's just changed under his weight.
Yeah.
And the new champion will look at the list of the rankings and think, you know
what? Is he fighting for the WBA silver title, Stephen?
So WBC silver, yeah, his old title, yeah, he is, his old title. But, you know, that's it for a chance to go back for the WBC title against Miura, is it? But then the new champion could sit there and think, you know what, we need a defence here, and we need who's just fought, who's at this level, who we can fight. And they'll look at Stephen and say, I'll ask him, does he want to fight for X amount of money in whatever it is? And Stephen's going to be in the right place at the right time to take it. That's how boxing works. But you know, so many so-called experts who don't really understand how the game works. You know, they think they know, but they're not involved inside boxing to know how a negotiation works or how title fights are negotiated.
When you fought Abraham the first time, I was there, I covered it, and I interviewed you literally a couple of hours before the fight. And I remember the last thing I said to you was, I looked at you and I went, Paul, better luck, don't freeze. Now, I got quite a lot of stick about that comment, but I think you understood what I meant by that, Paul, because you've worked your life to get into this opportunity, and a lot of fighters on the big stage freeze. So to sort of try to, do you know what I mean by that? I just tried to sort of mark your card a little bit.
Yeah, I know what it's like. I've seen it time and again. How many times do you see fighters where you just think he froze, and it happens a lot. It happens close to home. You know, you'd be surprised. And I've been around the block now, and I always knew, sort of being around them type of fights with the likes of Hatton and all that, with watching Quigg with his world title and everything, I knew when I got mine, I'd know how to deal with it without being big-headed. I think that's why Callum deals with it a lot, because he's been around everything.
He's been around the world watching the boys fight.
Callum was, you know, I won my first national title when I was 14 in Aston Villa Sports Centre. Callum was sitting in the first, second row back with my dad watching it. He was 6. Then when Stevens winning his titles 2 years later, Callum's 8, and then when we were winning ABA titles, I was 19 when I won my first ABA title. Callum was 11, just having his first fight, and then obviously British title and the rest from his elder brothers. He's seen a lot, he's been in and seen it all. Callum was in Ricky Hatton's changing room when he boxed Costas Zoo. He's been around the game for that long and seen how it works. It's not new to him. When he comes to fight for, when Stephen was fighting for the world title, I've seen how Paul doing it, I know how it works. When Liam fought for his world title, you know, everything that happens, Callum will go next. I've seen our 3 lads fighting for world titles, I know what happens, so it's not new to him. He won't freeze, and having a bit of experience does help, but I think it comes down to what kind of person you are. If you're going to freeze or not, you know, it's not just about having a pair of balls, it's about having a bit of mental strength as well, to know your fight's in there, your fight's not here, your fight's not walking to the ring. When walking to the ring in Oakland, all I could smell was skunk. It was the strongest weed I've ever smelled in my life. And I remember walking to the ring thinking, I'm fighting Andre Ward here. You know, he's an absolute star of the game. He's a quality fighter. I've watched him for years. Respect him massively. I've got to go and try and fucking beat him. I've got to go and try and land one on his chin and try and put him away, because I'm not going to beat him on points, and I'm not going to outbox him. And I was thinking about walking in was how strong the skunk was behind me, and I've never smoked weed in my life, but I remember thinking, I'll be stoned by the time I get in here, because there's that much weed around me. And then I remember getting in the ring and watching him coming to the ring, and I could see all these belts in the air, Ring Magazine, WBC, WBA, and all I could smell was green right beside me again, just was puffing up. And I thought, one of these judges must be smoking weed or something. So I stayed away from that side of the ring. And then he got in the ring and about 55 people got in with him, and all I'm standing here looking at him thinking, that weed's strong, whoever's smoking it by me. And it's like, I got abuse going in, I got loads of stick going in, you know, giving me loads, little white prick and all that, and you know, get back to England, this and that, but my fight's not with them, my fight's with Andre Ward. As soon as the bell rings, you're fine, but you do get people who do freeze on big occasions, so I know what you mean by when you said don't freeze, and I certainly didn't, you know, against Abraham. I knew I had to stick to the plan, and I knew what plan I had, and I knew I could beat him, and I felt I did that night, but you know, it was a close fight, and he got the decision, so what can you do?
Obviously, I can't take all the credit for your performance against Abraham, you know what I mean? I'm just pointing it out. Callum Smith potentially facing James DeGale, because we're led to believe the unification with DeGale and Badu Jack will take first priority. Is that hard for your family, knowing that how close you personally are with James DeGale and Callum is with him? I know it's boxing, everyone's got to fight.
It's just business. You know what I'd like to think, and it's not. I'm not even being like optimistic or pessimistic saying it. I don't think it'll happen. I think if James DeGale boxes Badu Jack, he'll beat Badu Jack. And I don't think if Jack beats DeGale, I don't think either of them will keep hold of the WBC title. And it's not through fear. It's not through fear of Callum. I don't think it's through, you know, they're not scared of Callum. It's not about that. So, you know, people shouldn't get the wrong idea when I'm saying this. But I think they'll vacate the WBC title, because I don't think the money's going to be there for either the fighter to fight Callum. And I don't think it's worth it for them either at all. Whoever wins this fight, it's a unification fight, and then you've got to go straight into a mandatory straight away. You know, with no leeway and no room to manoeuvre to get a quick defence in against someone for both titles. And you know, does any of them want to go and fight against Badu Jack or James DeGale and then have to go and fight Callum straight after it within 90 days? Because it's going to be a big ask. So the easier thing for both to do is to say, you know what, yeah, I've won that title, I'm still world champion with the IBF, but I'm going to vacate that, let someone else go with it. And I think Callum will fight for the vacant title. You know, that's just a little bit of a prediction, but I might be wrong. You know, James DeGale might be bang up for the fight with Callum if he beats Badu Jack, and Badu Jack vice versa. But the best thing Callum's done is he's in the right position. You know, Callum's not slagging James DeGale off, and neither of any of the family. You know, he's a good lad and quality champion. and he's doing his thing and he's doing his job well. He's IBF champion and looking like the unification fight will happen, but Callum's just happy to bide his time. He knows he'll fight for the title next.
Listen, Paul, I appreciate you giving me some time today.
No problem, mate.
Good to chill out and spend a bit of time with you. I know you've got to go and do a bit of work. Are you commentating or doing any Sky stuff
mate,
today?
I'm just going to go out and see me missus and that.
Just chill out a bit.
Yeah, just relax and watch the box and watch me mates.
Listen, thank you very much for your time today, mate. I really appreciate it, and I will catch you again real soon. Definitely. Good to see you back.
Thanks, mate. All the best.